Alrighty, can y'all hear me? Should take just a second, to get you guys caught up because there is a lag purposefully put here. Let me just make sure I've got my to-do list full screened. And yeah, now I can switch over to Fire Alpaca. Alright, just gonna check that. So, here's our to-do list for today. I'm not going in order necessarily, because some of these are actually, I know what I mean to say. I'm not going in order because they weren't really submitted in order. The only reason that they're listed in the order they are is that it was the most convenient way to put them. So, with that said, let's jump right in. I don't need a reference since I don't have a reference for this character. Oh no, is my tablet doing the thing again? It is doing the thing again. Hold on. I'm just gonna unplug and plug it back in and see if this helps. Alright, so now let's actually turn on correction a little bit more. I'm not sure why it's been doing that lately. I probably need to uninstall and then reinstall the driver or something. But as you can see, it doesn't always do that. Like, it's fairly consistent, but then it's not. Which, again, is something I'll have to look into later. But that was actually part of the reason why I couldn't use it in Fire Alpaca's sister program, is that it kept doing this. And then whenever I go to test it, it's fine. It follows my... Hold on, I'm gonna try this again. And one more time. If it doesn't do that, I'll just use keyboard shortcuts. There we go. Maybe this'll have fixed it. That's better. Alright, so I'm actually gonna just redraw this line art. I found that it does it less if the buttons are working. I'm not entirely sure what the problem here is, but I generally find if you unplug it and plug it back in enough times, it fixes itself. So this character belongs to I Heart Lyoko on DeviantArt, and his name is Rafiq Thul, I think, or Tull. And let's see. I think he looks kind of like Shiro from Voltron. The guy who asked for this agreed with me. Hold on, I got a cough for some reason. Sorry, I have no idea what's up with me today. I don't think I'm getting sick, but it would explain a lot. I'll take some emergency later after. But, so this character belongs to I Heart Lyoko on DeviantArt, and his name is Rafiq Thul, I think, or Tull. after the stream or in between streams. So anyway, this one took me a while to do, mostly because I originally wanted to do a cool pose and then I couldn't find a cool pose that really worked. So now he's got a less cool pose. And he looks kind of wall-eyed here. But, yeah. Art problems, I guess. So, then he's got a beard like that. And his hair comes down like that. Let's see, this pose is from one of Senshi stocks. I pretty much always use her references because they're very useful. Most of them are full body, so it's really easy to find just the full body image you need. Sometimes, like if you look at stock photos, you need a pose to be full body, but then it cuts off at the feet. But then the feet are like the hardest part of the pose to draw, and now you don't have a reference for them. That is so much less of a problem with Senshi stock. So how are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty alright. Not a lot going on. I watched this cool movie the other day, and then I watched it again last night because I knew I was going to be talking about it. It's called April and the Extraordinary World, and it was an interesting watch. If you like steampunk, you might like it. And if you don't like steampunk, I don't know, I think there's stuff to enjoy it even if you don't like steampunk, but that might just be that I'm biased. I think the best way I can describe this movie is, on one hand, there are lizard people in mech suits. On the other hand, they don't really show up until the third act. The beginning's a little clunky too, but once it gets going, it's a pretty decent flick. Now, I did not watch it in French since I don't really speak French, and the last time I tried to watch a French thing in French, it messed up my Netflix so that everything that had French as an option played in French. And that was a pain to deal with for a while. I would not mind taking a French class and learning French, but not that way, you know? But other than that, I don't even know where I was going with that statement. Anyway. So, as soon as I'm done with this line art, I'm gonna check the chat and see what you guys are up to, and then we will continue from there. I'd like to get at least 3 done this stream. I don't know. I could see getting only 2 done, I guess. But, however many I get done is however many I get done. I need to figure out a way to keep my tablet from rotating while I draw, because this is getting kind of frustrating. I did a thing where I stuck it to my desk so that it doesn't slide around, but now it rotates randomly. And that's almost as bad, but not quite. So let's see. This character's got this holster here. I know that this character is actually supposed to have facial scars, but I'm not putting them here primarily just because of the reference to Shiro. Like, all I have to do is do a slash across his nose, honestly. Or, I don't know. Lately, Shiro's been kind of off in Voltron. A lot of people think he might be a Galra clone. I think it's certainly possible. There's a lot of very obvious writing cues that it would not surprise me if that were the case. I mean, just even ignoring that hair doesn't grow that fast. There's just, again, just a lot of writing cues like that if he is who he says he is. I don't really consider that line to be much of a spoiler as long as there's no context. But yeah, I can't wait for Season 5. That should be pretty cool. That is so not how sleeves work, but I'm just gonna run with it. Okay. There we go. I don't really know too much about this character. I mean, he's force sensitive, he's got a blaster here, and then technically he has 2 lightsabers, but I didn't feel like drawing them. So they're conveniently hidden under his robe. And other than that, there's just really not that much I can say about this particular character. There's not much even that I can say about Star Wars, because guess who has not seen The Last Jedi yet? I mean, it's probably out on Redbox already, maybe, I don't know. But, I'm at least willing to give it a try. One of the things that's probably gonna bother me about it is that, from what I hear, it ignores this writing principle called Chekhov's gun, which is basically, if you build up to something, you have to pay it off or it's gonna feel unsatisfying. And, there was a lot that was built up in The Force Awakens that does not get paid off, even though it was an obvious build-up. And I get that the point of The Last Jedi is that sometimes life is disappointing, but nobody needs The Last Jedi to tell them that, you know? But, I don't know, that's just... I already know, so it's probably not gonna bother me as much because I can just... say, well, that's how this movie is. I knew that going in. So, yeah. I still have not seen The Last Jedi, is the point. I did hear that the porgs were actually a practical way to cover up all the puffins on the island they were shooting on. which was actually quite creative, because CGIing them out would have been really difficult, but instead you just digitally give them a little costume. That's a cute way to improvise, you know? Let's see. It's not quite like... has anyone else seen Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? It's kind of like how they actually had a helicopter crash on set and then they worked it into their script because they didn't want to reshoot. Either that or they couldn't. But that is just how you gotta roll sometimes, I guess. Anyway, this crate is turning out very derpy, so I'm actually going to draw this smaller little box on top of it first. There we go. Slightly off to the side so that they're not sharing a line, and it immediately makes it look deeper than it is. It's not that deep, bro. But what is drawing but tricking the eye into seeing things that aren't there? So, yeah, almost done here. Once I'm done with this line art, I am gonna see what's up in the YouTube chat. So, I'm just gonna... Come on. I don't want to do this, but fine. Let's see what's going on. Hey, alrighty. Nice. That's pretty cool. I don't know what you were talking about when you said, wait, that happened. 'Cause I get the feeling you were probably talking to me. Was it the helicopter crash or the porgs? Or was it something else entirely? I will find out after I fill this in. Not layer, canvas, there we go. Alright. Sorry, I'm not really saying much. I'm just trying to hurry up on this because we are 20 minutes in. And I mean, at this rate, it's not too bad. But it could be better. I'm going to ignore most of those details there for now. Oh, that's why this is all weird. go. Here we go. That should work. Alrighty, now let's zoom in and fix this mess. But yeah, he does share a little bit of a resemblance with Shiro from Voltron, doesn't he? I don't know, I think he does. But that is just my opinion. I mean, obviously he wouldn't resemble Shiro if I'd drawn him not to resemble Shiro, but... And I'm not even complaining, because Shiro is a nicely designed character. You know? It's just one of those things where once you notice it, you can't stop noticing it. Add some gray to this beard. Alrighty. Once I fill in those crates, I can call this done. And luckily, the crates are pretty much all like this, very easy to fill in. Alrighty, and then if I just go under here, I can dash in some gradients and make it look like he's actually waiting somewhere. So I'll use my most neutral gray and then select, and then let's see, gradient, foreground, that way. Hold on. Let's actually try to put the gradient like that. Okay, that's not working. There we go. Now I can just take a flat black and shadow instantly, like that. Alright, I am going to call this done, and then I'm going to check what's going on with the chat. What stunt from episode 1 are you talking about with Sword Art Online? Let's see. In the meantime, I think this is one that I have a reference for, and it is flipped, and I need to rotate it again. Not that way. Flip horizontally, because I like it better that way. Window, reference. Let's see. Or is it still in my downloads? It is still in my downloads. Oh well. So I'm just gonna go and take a nice dark teal for the line art. And yeah, Sword Art Online is serviceable for what it is. You are not gonna like the second arc. There is just a borderline, I'm not even sure I can actually say it out loud during this live stream, but let's just say there is a scene, it involves tentacles, and you can probably guess it is not good in capital letters. It's really just there for shock value, but honestly, shock value is something that has to be used sparingly. Otherwise, people will not be shocked by your thing, which defeats the entire point of shock value, and it doesn't even make sense for anything that happens in that arc. I mean, really, it would have just saved them so much time and money and dignity not to include the scene. So, yeah, maybe don't watch the second half of season 1. It is pretty much entirely skippable, and you will save yourself that scene. Those of you who have seen Sword Art Online and had the misfortune of sitting through that scene can tell you what I mean. In more frank terms than I'm okay with using in this live stream. So, yeah, that's a thing that you may want to watch out for. In the meantime, this is another character I know absolutely nothing about, so I'm trying to front load these and just get them out of the way so that there's more stuff to talk about later. But I don't know what to talk about here. I could spend my entire time just railing against SAO because don't get me wrong, I liked it the first time I watched it, but the first time I watched it was after I had just had my wisdom teeth out, and I think it's safe to say that your tastes when you're bedridden for like a week, and confined to a diet of liquid foods, it clouds your judgment a bit. It just, I don't know. I like the abridged better. Even though there's more foul language and stuff in it, the characters have more character. And, but I mean, preferences are preferences. So let's zoom in on this face. I hate having to get references off Instagram. If it would solve so many problems for me if there were a mobile version of Instagram, even though I realize that that kind of defeats the entire intended purpose of Instagram. So let's see, she's got those eyebrows, and then I really shouldn't be too concerned about anatomy here, but I am. So here we go. But yeah, the scene in question is definitely something that I would apply a legitimate trigger warning to. It's best avoided if at all possible, and I don't even remember exactly which episode it was in, and frankly, I don't want to go and find out. But, yeah, even fans of the series are not fans of that scene. It's got no point. Like, it's like they can't even decide whether they want that scene to be horrifying or I guess arousing is a word I might not get put in bad standing for using. In any case, it's just be careful with that second half of season 1. Just after Aincrad, skip to season 2 if you really want to see season 2. But I have railed against it enough, so let's just do a big wide eye here. I'm actually gonna go down to a thinner brush, even though that's kind of the opposite of what I tend to do. And like that. Layer. Here we go. Alright, now I can delete that and color pick from the reference. But, so, yeah, don't really know anything about this character. The design is interesting, I guess. Not really sure what's supposed to be what of anything. Let's scoot up here. Take that color for the hair. Okay, no, never mind. That is the wrong color. For the ears, need this one. There we go. I'm just going to use this same color in there because I cannot clearly determine what color her eyes are supposed to be. And then I fill in her tail. And yeah, I think I can call this one done. And I'm just going to switch over to the chat. Yeah. So, new subject. This is the one of two of my characters playing a prank. I decided to draw Braxton and Gracie playing a trick on Aini where they completely rearrange her closet so nothing actually looks tacky anymore. I feel like they have their work cut out for them. Because, I don't know, her whole thing is that nothing actually goes together. I'm on the wrong layer, but I think I can stylize this. Just because if I can stylize something about this, maybe shift the hue and, I don't know, play around with the extracting lines filter, I might even be able to salvage it. So yeah, they've definitely got their work cut out for them with this. I haven't even drawn any of the clothes in the closet because I was planning to just make her closet an amorphous blob of really odd colors ranging from putrid looking to eye-hurtingly bright. So I'll do that in the next step of this. But for now, just gotta draw these characters, trying to figure out how they're gonna handle this particular task. I have a feeling Jory's the one who's distracting her while they work on this. But I think everyone involved does indeed have their work cut out for them. Hold on, there we go. Alright. Now I'll just dash in these lines here. just make some random dashes like this. And then I think I can erase the text for now. There we go. Maybe some more random dashes here. Now, filter, hue. If I shift it over to blue and desaturate it a lot, maybe bring the brightness up a little, or a lot. Alright, filter. I forgot I need to, hold on, new layer, white layer. I think I can set it to multiply, merge, and then filter extracting lines. There we go. Filter extracting, oh darn, I need to do the whole thing with that again. Multiply, merge down. Oh no. Multiply, merge, filter, extracting lines. There we go. Okay. So now we can actually color this thing. Let's start with just kind of a grayish blue for the walls and stuff. It strikes me as that she has a very standard room for where they are, and then we'll fill a dark gray in here and here. Okay, my other lines aren't completely gone, but I think I can in fact work with that. Okay, so of course Braxton looks pretty suave as always. Yeah, I'll just call this shading, sort of. You know what? No. I'm just gonna have to color this in the good old-fashioned way. Alright, here we go. If you have any suggestions for how to make this more obviously Einie's room, other than just the closet stuff, by all means let me know, because the tackier the better. There we go. That's looking better. let's see. Coming up with Aine's fashion sense, basically all I do is I come up with I find a random outfit generator, and then I play Weird Al Yankovic's Tacky for inspiration. And that's part of what makes her so much fun to draw, because Tacky, I mean, obviously it's a parody of Happy, which is one of the most catchy songs I would consider ever. But, I don't know, it just, the fact that it has that extra Weird Al flair really makes it a joy to listen to. Not that the original is not a joy to listen to, because it is a lot of fun. Let's see. And then I think he could actually get away with khaki pants here. I don't know. I don't know how to fashion. If I knew how to fashion, I would have more scholarships. This might be too... yeah, I think that's too much of a skin tone to use there. Let's try layer. There we go. You know what? I'm just gonna go the opposite route and make his pants that color. There we go. Alright, so for Aine's closet, I'm gonna take this base kind of gross greenish yellow color, and that is going to form the basis for her outfits. And then, I don't know, I may eventually draw the results of this, which would be kind of weird, because then she would end up not looking tacky and feel out of character for her. But, I mean, that's the whole point of the prank. I would consider this the very rare helpful prank. 'Cause honestly, I wonder what they do with all the stuff that doesn't actually match. That would be an excellent question for me to answer sometime. I don't think they'd throw everything out. They're not in it for malice, but they'd probably find a way to hide it for a week, just in hopes that dressing fashionably for a week would help her out. But I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna wrap this one up in the I'm probably just going to keep going until I wrap this one up. Unless it takes too long. In which case I'll come back to it later. But yeah, this was a fun scene to try to think about how to draw, because reorganizing a closet typically isn't something you would consider a prank most of the time. But it works because of these characters. I really need to do stuff with them, but then again, Dino's doing stuff with them. And I can't wait to see how they turn out. I guess that doesn't mean I can't draw stuff with them just on my own time. Alright, fill, layer, there we go. Alright, now I'm going to select layer. Oh boy. Let's take some eye destroying yellow. And then maybe like a salmon color, also really saturated. And then I'm gonna go back in here and just... Is it just me, or is this starting to look like really ugly roller skating rink carpet? Maybe I should draw her wearing something made out of that stuff. And then I'll actually find a kind of nice shade of light blue. That goes with none of these colors somehow. And then we'll make it look like skating rink carpet again. Alright. Yeah, that looks awful. Which I guess makes it perfect for our purposes. I'm just gonna block that in. And then there we go. And then I don't remember what color I was using for Gracie's skin tone, but this one is what I'm picking for now. Just to hurry up and get it done. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have just enough time to call this one finished. So, here's her hair. And then I'm gonna give her a nice light pink dress that will stand out against all this, but also not go with any of it. Because, I mean, of course the point of Inie's closet is that it goes with nothing. There we go. And then maybe I'll take this, add a little more yellow, make it very pale, and use that. Ah, that was supposed to read as pastel orange and it doesn't. That's a little better. And then I'll do some spots of yellow and that pink again. And then I'm just going to go over here, select an ellipse. Actually, I'll use black for this. Come on. Alright. There's my ellipse. And then I need another ellipse here, which I can... I'm on the wrong layer again. What's with me? Anyway. Okay, so there's speech bubble number 1. Speech bubble number 2. Come on. I just want a nice clean tail on the speech bubble. That's better. Not great, but we'll deal with that. Alright. Let's see. Come on. And there we go. Select, contract, 10, then fill with white. Swap these colors and text. And my caps lock is on. We've got... I'm just gonna go down to like a size 8 there. Maybe I'll take it down to a 6. And center text. No. There we go. Center. And scoot it over there. And yeah, I think I can call this one done. And I'll just check the chat one last time before I end the stream. And that was weird. That was not what I meant to do. There we go. Alright, it's okay. I'll see you guys, later. And Sir Kunama, yes, you absolutely, you absolutely can showcase some of my art. In the meantime, I am just gonna end this stream because we are right at time. Have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye.